right now. Thanks so much.
There you go. Don't forget to follow on Twitter and Facebook.
Thanks again.
Yo, this Sean Murdoch from Exclusive Vodka. When I'm in Atlanta, I'm rocking with Thebeatdropsradio.com. Hold me down. Exclusive Vodka.
The station with the best music. Best music.
I love the music.
Best music.
Oh. There we go.
Hey.
Almost didn't click some.
Nasty dogs. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone, and welcome to the Master Christian Dog Show. Today's show is going to be a great show. We're going to talk about a lot of things going on in life, a lot of things going on with your dogs. It's about everything out here. It's life and dogs. We're going to have a good time today before the holidays. Then we're going to be safe and make sure we get home and get fed and all of that. Everybody's moving around the country, so we're going to talk about a little of that too. We'll be right back with the Master Christian Dog Show on the Thebeatdropsradio.com.
That believe in God. Here's another $7,000 drop on every school.
What happened?
Because you live.
I'm live. Hey, somebody gave me their call. Sorry.
The skin is so clear. What's the secret? I know papaya and A1. Union asphalt in ionized water. That's got to be the duck base and the rock.
Could have used my scarf.
I know that was bad.
Not that.
So what is
It's aftershave. Aftershave.
Think Gucci blow well. So.
that? Sounds pretty good, but how does it help me?
And razor burn. Helps reduce.
30 seconds, huh?
That sounds like a fantastic product for men. What about the ladies? I know some ladies that.
Ladies are covered too with private shave. It prevents discoloration, itching, resulting from hair removal. It's the fastest way to a smooth skin line. Matter of fact, it's visible results in 24 hours without 100% effectivity.
Man, I've been putting all this stuff on my face. I could have been using Power Shave all the time.
Yes, you could have. Matter of fact, I tell you what you do. Go to privateshave.com. PRIVASHA.
You want to know what's in the duck base.
Yeah, I was listening to that bikini line right there. Bikini line. Yeah. Welcome back to the Master Christian Dog Show. How you doing today, Bianca?
Doing good, are you?
It's been a rough week. You know, I stopped watching my television program and I've been watching a continuous program on CNN that just seems like there's no end to. It was like a remake from August.
Remake from August?
Yeah, like we made part 2 of the Ferguson saga.
Yeah.
And you know, I didn't know if I was gonna say something, but we gotta say something. We gotta bring attention. Yeah, we gotta bring attention because this is not where it started. It didn't start in Ferguson. It didn't start with Trayvon Martin. It didn't start. It started long ago, and it's a lot of history in the United States about people being treated a certain way, and not just second-class citizen way. You know, I don't know if everybody's experienced what we experienced, even just coming from Toledo. But as a man, and yeah, I'll say I'm black.
You'll say?
Yes, I'll say I'm black. It's been a road to travel, and I have mastered something in my life. I'm good with the dogs and the things that I do with all the different kind of animals and everything. But dealing with animals, it comes back to the primary thing. We're two-legged animals. We're human.
We're human.
And we have to deal with each other accordingly. Even though we have these other animals to deal with, we're the first animals on the food chain. We're the ones that we have to communicate with each other and everything. And I see it's a great lack of responsibility going on in the United States between not only Black Americans, white Americans, all Americans. We seem to be lost. And it may be time that they've left the door open for us to be found and find each other. But it's gonna take a lot. It's gonna take a lot of healing. The grieving process can't stop because there's no clear thought going on. I've been watching, and what did you see this week? How was, you know, from your perspective as a Black woman with children? What did you? Yeah.
Well, as a parent or a mother with a son.
Yeah.
Okay. My perspective on that is, and which I always express to my son, is that I want him to come home.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to share things with him so that he understands that, you know, whenever he's out in the street, and he's taller than me, they don't see a 14-year-old boy.
No, they see a man.
Yeah, period. Matter of fact, just recently, the shooting that took place with the 12-year-old boy that had the pellet gun.
Yeah.
I heard him described once as a 12-year-old man in the playground. So people don't see a 14-year-old boy. They don't know the playful, you know, little boy that I do. They don't know the teenager. They don't know all that. Neither is there any effort to try to find that out. It's a threat. So you have to find yourself responding to things that may aggravate you, but you have to completely calm all the way down.
Okay, so
not raise your voice.
Calming down is hard for these people.
Well, I mean,
it's hard.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard if something pisses you off.
Especially when you're being attacked and you're right.
But
you're right.
You can be right, but you'll be dead. And from my perspective, like, you know, I've had, you know, a lot of people call in and all of that and express their views on it. But, you know, someone, have you ever heard of the Young Turks? They have
No.
a YouTube show that comes on.
Okay.
And they come on every day. If you have an opportunity, please check out the Young Turks. I shouted them out earlier. And, you know, they're predominantly, it's two white guys that typically do the show. Then they have like an Asian guy that comes in, a white lady, and a black lady that comes in every now and then. And they showed a video of a black man, that was arrested.
Okay.
He was arrested because he was sitting outside of a store at a mall waiting for the mother of his children to bring his children to the mall so that they could exchange. Someone called the police and said whatever they said to get the police to come over there to him. And it ended with him being arrested, and he filmed the whole thing. And they said, this is very hard to watch. How many, you know, people have gone through this? He said, I wonder what Bill O'Reilly would say to justify the actions of the police officer in regards to this man being arrested in front of his children.
Well,
and he didn't raise his voice.
There's no justification. It's a responsibility among adults. I can say that the cell phone, with us carrying cameras around everywhere we go, it makes life a little different. It makes life a little recordable. So now, if we're thinking on our feet, we have the opportunity to record it and stop some of the things that are going on. But in a lot of situations, they'll take your phone.
Yeah, I mean, his phone dropped on they didn't know, obviously, they didn't know that they were being filmed because of the position of it. You could tell he happened to hit record. And as they were walking, and then another police officer, male police officer, came up. He said, how you doing, brother? He said, I'm not your brother. And they told him to get down on the ground. They handcuffed him, and they took him out.
And the funny thing is,
you should watch that.
It's not just a black and white issue that is white officers coming and messing with black children. Black officers are messing with black children too. Yeah,
but you don't see the rate of black officers.
You don't see the fatality.
Exactly. And that's the problem.
Yeah, no, the problem is it all.
Yeah,
because
it's the problem.
Young men, young black men, young black teenage boys are being harassed from go. Mm-hmm. And they always have.
They ran a statistic on the Young Turks, because I believe one of them is like he's a judge or a former judge or whatever, but he ran statistics stating that there are 2 black males shot and killed by police, 2 every week for the last 3 years. That's what's been happening. For the last 3 years, there are 2 black men shot and killed by police officers every week.
Bianca,
I'm just sharing with you.
I'm from Toledo, Ohio. I don't put it past them. I used to be right, and I'm proud and I'm strong. So when you come at me and you're saying something that's a lie, and I know the truth, then I'm going to stand up for the truth. Stand up for the truth. Standing up for that got me arrested maybe 3 or 4 times, maybe more than that. I don't even know. My mama didn't even know that I was, in jail for the night some of these times, because it was no reason. I was grown. I was going to get out on OR, and I had the money to pay. But arguing with the police, even when you're right, even when they engage you, even when you've done nothing wrong. I was standing in the street outside of Drop Zone. You know where's Drop Zone was. Yeah. Okay, I was talking. It wasn't a lot of people out there. I was talking to 2 black police officers that were out there. They were doing their off-duty thing, being Drop Zone security. We were standing on the edge of the street over by the bank. I hear a voice behind me. I hear a car passing by. And it's a voice behind me that says, "Get off the street." And I didn't hear him the first time I heard him, but I didn't hear it because I'm standing here talking to 2 police officers. What reason would someone have to be saying, "Get out the street"? Why would they disrespect them like that? Okay. So, I kind of ignored it. I didn't really hear it. And then I turned around, and it is a sergeant, Caucasian sergeant in the car. And he said it again. And I asked him, I said, what's going on here? They're looking bewildered. And then he said, "You're under arrest." And I said, "Are you guys going to let him arrest me?" They said, "There's nothing we can do about it. He outranks us." Now, believe that he got out the car, walked up on me. I went ahead and let him arrest me. when we got in that car from where we were, you know, the drop zone at where Cherry Street is, where the jail isn't that far.
No, it's not.
It's
real close.
maybe a 7-minute ride. Before we got there, he had pulled that car over, got out the car, took those handcuffs off of me, told me, please walk into the jail with my hands behind me, because I blessed him out so good in that car about arresting me for no reason at all. He felt bad, but once they make that call that they're bringing somebody in, they got to bring somebody in. What he thought was I was some drunk, derelict young man standing in the street or doing something and that's the first thing he asked me once he got me under arrest. He said, have you been drinking? I said, not a drop. Oh, I'm sure all you guys drink all the time. And that was his position. So, you know, we know about this in Toledo, that we're not safe.
No.
But we'll be back with the Master Christian Dog Show on the Thebeatdropsradio.com, WVBP.
connect well with people and an idea that you know would make a great show, then contact the Beat Drops Radio and email your YouTube links, website.
You're in right after the reggae
for Beat Drops Radio.
Okay.
You set up an appointment today. Act quickly as we are getting here and expanding our network to include
I gotta get it out.
original and captivating shows. And this just
You don't want to hear that on radio.
family friendly 40 pop station located in the Atlanta metro area. Now, if you don't live in the Atlanta area and have pre-recorded shows, we have time slots available for you too. Don't delay and email us today, the Thebeatdropsradio@gmail.com.
Welcome back. This is Master Christian. I'm still sitting here with Bianca. We having the Ferguson conversation. The call-in line is 404-826-9223. The listen-in live line is 401-347-0418. You can Facebook me at Master Christian, Instagram me at Master Christian 404, Twitter me at MCDT404, email me at masterchristian404@gmail.com. And the website is always going to be masterchristian.com. Now, the story I was telling about being arrested in the street and being disrespected and everything, let me get to the end of the story because I had to get a lawyer. I had to take off work. I had to go to court. But on my way to court, my lawyer says the prosecutor wants to speak to you. And I said, okay, well, what's up? So he said, but before we go in here, they sent me out with a deal. The prosecutor said they're going to drop all charges against you about your arrest if you just pay court costs. And I had to tell my lawyer, hey, if I pay them, I'm not paying you because I didn't do anything to be arrested. And that was my position. So if we have to go all the way out with this, we're going to go all the way out. I got money. I don't care. We'll do it. So he went back in. He came back out to get me. And surprisingly enough, the police officer that arrested me was in the prosecutor's office when I walked in, and I looked over. The prosecutor said, you know, officer such and such. I said, oh, yeah, we've met. And she said, he has something to say to you. And I said, what's going on? The man looked at me and he said, I want to apologize to you, Mr. Tyler, because I made a mistake when I arrested you. And I just want to apologize to your face and shake your hand if you would. And hopefully we can get past this point. And I just looked at him because I'm stunned that this man is in here apologizing to me, A. And then I'm looking at the prosecutor like, what's going on? So the prosecutor is waiting for my attention. Got a piece of paper for me. And I'm late for work. So, you know, I got to get to work. So what they wanted me to do, and I did, they wanted me to sign a waiver that I wouldn't sue the city.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I could get out of there, no court costs, everything, I can go. But I'm arrested. I had to spend a night in jail. I had to do all of these things. And, you know, I didn't do anything wrong. This is just one of the isolated incidents of Toledo, Ohio. But I've seen my friends beaten, pepper sprayed 50 times in a row. Like, it was fun. The cop just kept walking by laughing and then hitting them with flashlights. It's been a whirlwind of abuse of young black men. And I don't know how they do older black men because I try to defend them. But it's been a lot of abuse going on from the time you walk in the store, people following you, to the comments that people say. You know, I've had friends that have gone to restaurants in North Carolina. They went in Waffle House in North Carolina. Mm-hmm. And it was a woman, it was a white young man and a black young man. We were on a movie set. They went to get some food. And a woman from the other side of the room, you know, she was sitting there eating with her granddaughter, and all of a sudden she couldn't handle it anymore because this young white man was with this black boy, and they were going to get some food, and she screamed the N-word out loud and said, I don't want to be in here with them N-words. You know, it's a mentality going on, and it's not just the police department. It's a mentality that's been going on all our lives. It started long ago. It may have come from us being slaves for the people that were, it may have come from before we were slaves because we ended up in slavery from some sleight of the hand.
I don't see how it came before. Because it's deep rooted within that industry, that mentality of the slave mentality, the dividing up of families, the house Negro, the field.
They taught you everything you know. They taught you their way. Whoever took the slaves after slavery was over, you were an empty vessel. You didn't have your language anymore because they bred that out of you. They wouldn't let you read. You didn't know what to do. So everything you learned came from a whole nother culture.
Mhm.
It was a magnificent display. I mean, if you were trying to conquer a people, wouldn't you do it like that?
Of course, you have to.
And that was an excellent way to do
You
it.
have to
But
strip
guess
somebody.
what? That time has passed. And we're educated from the same books that were forced upon us. We are educated. Now, to
The time may be past. Oh, I'm sorry, I gotta disagree with you on something. The time is past, but there's still too many remnants of the self-same mentality that has been passed on from generation to generation.
But they don't even know they're doing it because it's something that they do in their lives. A lot of them, the people that have prejudice and racial issues and superiority complexes, they need therapy. They need some help.
I mean, even the perpetual propaganda that we see on a constant basis, if you look at TV from a different perspective, you know, it doesn't look good for black males at all, just from TV. Nothing you see, I mean, it isn't. It isn't unless you make the shows yourself.
And that's why we're sitting here on the Master Christian Dog Show on the Thebeatdropsradio.com, WBBE, because we're going to make a positive show. We're going to do the right things. We're going to help people. We're going to help people with their lives and their dogs. And the reason we're having this conversation is because it all works its way to what I talk about. You have to fix yourself before you can take on the responsibility of an animal and start working to fix that animal and doing these things, because it comes from within. Everything starts at home, and the home of a person is their person, not a building.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
If a dog, I just got a question.
Mm-hmm.
Just popped in my mind. If a dog is attacking, well, I don't say attacking, but aggravated by someone.
Agitated.
Thank you. Agitated by someone, barking, whatever, and the person is fearing for their lives, and they take out a gun and they shoot that animal 8 times. What happens to that person?
It depends. If the dog was off leash, something happens to the owner of the dog. The owner of the dog would be cited. Mm-hmm. But if the dog is on leash, if the dog is in the confines of a yard or something, and they do that, then they're going to be cited. They're going to be fined. That's animal cruelty. So it depends on the situation and where the dog was positioned. If the dog was,
I just wonder,
yeah,
how is that handled? Because I've seen situations to where, there may be dogs roaming around the neighborhood, previous neighborhood I used to live in, and the owner just would not put the pet put their dog either on a leash or keep them, in the house during the time that the kids were getting out of school.
Irresponsible.
And my husband had to deal with that situation because my kids were much younger then, and it's like he enjoyed the dog chasing the kids or whatever.
People get their kicks out of the strangest things, don't they?
Yeah. So my husband called the pound. Called the pound, and what the pound said, the guy, not the pound, let me make that distinction. One of the workers said, between me and you, dog come after my kids, show them.
And you can. Now, make sure that if you do that firearm you have is legal.
Oh yeah.
Because if anything is funny with you, they're not going to charge you for shooting a dog. But don't have a suspended driver's license. Don't have anything wrong with you when you do these things, because you were afraid of the dog. You shot the dog. You're going to jail for whatever else you had going on. And that's the thing. Us as a lot of black men, we carry a lot of things behind us where it's like we can't get a shake. But what I'm here to tell you is you have the power. We have the power to do whatever we want. All these bad habits that we have, they can end. It's mental. All these things that we got to do, some of these things we don't need to do. We have to fix ourselves. That's where it all comes from. To be responsible for children, animals, and each other, it has to start with these adults. We are the ones that are shaping the planet right now. When I looked at Mike Brown's mama, Mike Brown's mama looked like she about my age. Mike Brown daddy looked like he about my age.
She's facing some charges herself.
Really?
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, we'll have to get about that. And we'll get in some dog news. We'll be back with the Master Christian Dog Show on the Thebeatdropsradio.com, WBBE.
We're on to Where One Direction, and we teamed up with Office Depot. Together, we're launching an education program aimed at creating bully free schools across America.
Come on, fellas.
Be brave and true.
That's not even close. I can't do
Celebrate being original and empowered. Courageous and unique. Confident and successful.
I just hate that he couldn't even cross-examine.
Yeah.
I mean,
How long?
Simply put,
on
choose to live nice.
you got a minute?
We designed limited edition.
I would have loved to see the cross-examinations.
Yeah.
You know, at least question the individual, not just say, okay, that's his story, that's
It's a
what
wrap.
it is.
Next.
And, you know, he didn't even say that you should indict. I just feel like it was a cop out. He didn't want to prosecute that situation. He wanted to go away.
Tune in every day, Monday through Friday, Eastern Standard Time, to the Bianca Burwell Show right here on the Thebeatdropsradio.com. We guarantee to keep you updated and entertained every day on the Bianca Burwell Show. Don't miss it, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tell a friend, and follow us on Instagram, Bianca_Burwell. See you later. Tune in now. Tune in.
And we are back with the Master Christian Dog Show on the Thebeatdropsradio.com, WBBE. Let's get to some news, because it's other things going on actually than what's going on in Ferguson. It's life going on, even though we live in this broken world and everything, and we need to find a way to fix. But we have a woman that got arrested in Chesapeake, Virginia. What happened was a man went on Craigslist and was looking around for his lost dog, and he actually saw a dog that looked similar to his dog for sale. So he did a little research, and it was his dog. He didn't know it was his dog, but it was his dog. A lady saw the dog on Craigslist as a lost dog in the lost and found. She went and told the people that it was her dog. She got the dog and went and reposted the dog on Craigslist for sale. What's going on? I'm hearing about people's cars being broken into. Is it Christmas? It's got to be Christmas.
Yeah, early.
Early Thanksgiving. We gonna get the black black steals before Black Friday.
Crazy, man.
Yeah, it's you know, we got this lady. She took advantage of a man and then tried to sell the dog. Yeah, we got some lighter news, some good, better news of officers in New York. No, they didn't kill anybody this time. They actually saved the dog's life. In the Bronx, it was a dog tied to a pole. He had a muzzle on that was too tight. It was cutting into his face. And the police got out there. They did an excellent job. The dog was happy. They got the muzzle off. They got him off the pole, and they're going to be finding him home. It's just a good job done. You know, good job, y'all. Good job.
I'm glad to hear
Yeah, because you're not killing nobody. That's how that works. So they came together as a force, and they saved the dog. But then we have Dennis Eugene Emery. He has 3 names. Normally, when they give him 3 names, they did something crazy. Dennis Eugene Emery. Yeah, you know, serial killers only get 2 names, but assassins and stuff, they get 3 names. You know, it's John Wilkes Booth. You know, you got. But Dennis Eugene shoots himself in the face while allegedly threatening to kill a dog. Dennis is dead because he tried to kill a dog. He talked a lot of stuff, and he shot himself in the face. You shoot yourself in the face, you shot yourself in the head. You usually die from headshots. Dead Dennis, don't threaten dogs. No, it's too much dominance that's going on. Why would you threaten a dog with a gun? If you're going to shoot the dog, you shoot the dog. What's all this threatening about? I'm going to shoot you. Dog don't know what's going on here. Dogs don't go to the range with me. Well, we do some gunfire and everything, but I haven't yet been able to teach a dog to shoot a gun. Them opposable thumbs, y'all. You can't, index fingers. And, yeah, it's got to be able. Hey, what did the guy say? What did the cop say in Ferguson? He felt Mike Brown trying to get inside the trigger. Dog not gonna get inside the trigger. You don't gotta worry about that.
Not at all.
Dog gonna get inside the skin. That's what those teeth are for. You seen those teeth before? That's what those teeth are for. But you know, that's the news. That's all I got for the news, because the news is really, we have to start taking care of each other. What did I say when I came into this segment? I said broken, broken, broken. We got broken homes. We got a broken world. And it didn't just get broken. It's been broken up into a lot of pieces. A lot of people claim this. A lot of people say go over here. They took some people. And in the animal kingdom, slavery is not something that's, animals do it too. They take other animals. Ants take other ants.
Yeah, they do.
And they use them as workers. And, you know, the ant never even knows that it was taken because they take it as a larvae. But we are here now. We are a part of the established society. And when I say we, I say everybody. Because nobody, I don't care how much money you have, I don't care what status you have, this morning when you opened your eyes, you took a breath of air just like I did. You put on your clothes just like I did. There's no magic to being human. We are human beings. And we're both, everybody is wonderful and individuals and unique, but the system must work for everyone. And the system's not working. The system hasn't ever worked. They've dumbed it down. They've calmed us down. They beat us down. And they said, stay in your place. I don't know where my place is. I don't know where my people's place is. Where's these places they're talking about? I want to be successful too. I'm going to be successful too. So what are we supposed to do? Am I supposed to just stop this drive that was given to me by the forces of the universe, God, whatever you want to call it? Am I supposed to just stop and be a pawn in this game of chess? What do we do here? Because something has to change. And yes, 90% of black men that die from black people. 90% of white men and white people that die from white people.
Yeah. That quote that Rudy Giuliani made, where he said 93% of blacks get killed by blacks, and the way that he quoted that was a little jacked up. But you know, 93% of black people that are killed. Not 93%.
Yeah, that are killed.
But also from the self-same report, it also said 84% of white people are killed by white people.
Yeah,
I don't know how many. What's the difference of percentage?
Well, the thing is, it doesn't matter who's killing who.
Apparently, it matters because
they're doing statistics on it. Exactly. But what matters is that we are grown, thinking, and educated individuals, and we can't sit down and make a better world. We don't want a better world. We like the world we live in. And everything is a matter of perspective. If your perspective has been rich and you live in a certain area, you don't know my pain. You can't feel my pain. You will never. No, because these shoes you'll never walk in. Right. But the thing about it is, don't have a bleeding heart when something happens. Then you want to get out and march and everything. It's happening every day. Mike Brown is being killed every day. And every Mike Brown that's being killed might not have fought the police. They might have did what the police said. They might have been walking down the street with an Arizona and some Skittles or whatever Trayvon had. Mm-hmm. You know, so under fire we have been. And when I reached the age of 25, I was happy that I made it to 25. I don't even know if that's the flip side to the coin. I was happy. Because the statistic was that I was not going to be able to make it to 25 years old. I was going to be dead or incarcerated in a prison. And I'm sitting here at 40. Mm-hmm. You know, but every day it's a job to make life better for everybody else. And not just for black people or white people. We are Americans. We're as American as it gets. They can't take it from us. I've never been to Africa. I don't know what Africa looks like. I know the shape of Africa on the map because they taught it to me at school. I live here. Yeah. And what are we gonna do? Because we're the ones that shape the face of the world right now. What are we going to do?
You know what I think people want right now, and I could be clearly wrong. I could be like so way off.
What do they want?
Just admission. Admission.
Okay,
you know what? We do profile you.
Oh, well, they know that.
No,
I mean,
no.
Come on,
I didn't say no. I said
admit.
Admit. That's a completely different thing. If you are in a situation with somebody and they never want to admit that they're wrong, you have a problem with that. Everybody has a problem with that. If you never ever want to admit that you're wrong, you're always right.
But like I said, life is about perspective, point of view.
Exactly.
And these individuals are holding their perspective to themselves. They don't want to see it from your point of view. They don't want to feel what you go through. They said that doesn't matter to them. And what you're talking about, you're making most of it up. That story I told you earlier, I made all of that up. It didn't happen. If they didn't have it in the records at the courthouse of Toledo, Ohio,
well, see, that's the difference that the cell phone cameras and all that make, is that now
it documents
no
everything.
longer can you say, you know, that you didn't do anything. I was the one that was the aggressor. I was the one that did X, Y, Z. You can't do that anymore because there's too many cameras around that tell. I mean, the camera doesn't tell my side. The camera doesn't tell your side. The camera just tells it as it is. Yeah,
the camera gives you the real account of what happened because I'm watching it.
And that's what, you know, people have to recognize, that whenever there's a conflict or a confrontation that takes place, your perspective of what's happening is from your point of view.
It's from your video camera in your head.
And the way that they see it is from their perspective.
Correct.
But that doesn't mean that either one was absolutely accurate.
Neither one are accurate.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why having a third party that is unapologetic, that is
impartial,
unbiased.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? To be like, actually, you thought that he may have been doing X, Y, Z, but actually, this is what happened. This is what you did. You'd be like, I did that?
Well, it's attention to detail.
It's like being in a fight. You don't remember exactly every blow you threw when you was in, and neither can you detail every single aspect of a fight that you're in. You're not watching it.
No.
All you know is you getting hit.
And you're trying to hit.
And you trying to hit, but you don't know that you bit that joker. You don't know.
Even when we were playing sports, Bianca.
You don't remember everything.
I mean,
we had to watch the film.
I might have dunked on somebody. It might have been the best thing that happened. But I was so engrossed in what was going on, I needed to see the film.
You got to watch the film.
I know I don't.
Exactly.
But what? I got him all on the head and everything. I'm sure Mike Tyson didn't know he was going to throw that uppercut to just knock this man's block off. He was going to try to throw that uppercut, though.
You know that joker was down. So he had to go back and watch the film. So that's all I'm saying, is that, you know, with this situation, the unrest and all that's going on, just a matter of having the opportunity to cross-examine and ask.
So before we're going, though, how do we fix the problem? Right here, right now. The way we fix the problem is communication. Now, in communication, that means everybody has to be honest. How do we get to that? So if we don't have the evidence, and for the prosecutor has been working his life to be in the position he was. Now, I'm not saying he did anything wrong. I'm not saying anything about how it went down with the officer and Mike Brown. What I'm saying is that prosecutor made his bones, made his life, and this is the career statement of him being a prosecutor since '91. He has worked all his life to rig some things like this. And it looks kind of rigged. He had a smirk on his face when he was on TV. Take care of yourself, take care of each other, take care of your dogs, and be responsible, because that's what grown people need to do. And it's only grown people listening to me, other than my kids. Y'all have a good day. This has been a Master Christian Dog Show on Thebeatdropsradio.com, WBBE. We are out. Happy Thanksgiving. Love y'all.